Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Lone Wolf. Here we're beginning the Prisoners of Time, and with me again is Karzie. We've both been blasted. We've been blasted into the pit by grabbing one of the lore stones, and the other two lore stones we're going to search for. Let's split up and find them. Okay, so in the previous books, 2 books ago actually, we defeated Zakan Kima and turned the tide of war decisively against the Dark Old armies. And we paved the way for the liberation of the lands that they'd taken by force. But that sweet taste of victory turned sour when we discovered that Dark Lord Nog had captured the last 3 remaining Lord Stones of Nixator. And then he vowed to avenge his defeat by destroying them and killing us. So that was when the big booming voice in the sky happened, and we compared that to Shao Kahn and all that. So,
you pathetic mortals, I've come for your soul.
Yes.
We've made this joke like, what, 2 or 3 times now?
It's such a good joke.
It is, because it fits. It's what I imagine every time.
It's what you... I can't think of any other film that's done something similar. That's the only thing that
right at the end.
Yeah. So, alarmed by this, the High Councils of the Elder Magi joined us in Tahau, and they made a plan of action. So, they received word from the Prince Gregor, which is the ruler of Eru, that 3 radiant gems filled with golden light had been transported to the fortress of the Dark Lord city of Mosgor. So, unable to tolerate the goodly power of the Lore Stones within his own domain, Nog was forced to move them to Torgar, where his sorcerers, the Daziarn, I don't think we haven't said that name much in the previous book.
Oh my god,
I would remember saying that.
Like fictional
I would remember that name.
Fucking words.
They set about searching for a means to destroy them. So, fearing that they might achieve the task, the Elder Magi made preparations for your secret journey to Eru. And in order to safeguard your true identity, you adopted the guise of a Pathfinder, one of Prince Gregor's elite woodland scouts. Now, a quick side note, those stones that can't be destroyed, I guess this is another thing they might have lifted off of Tolkien, which is the Ring of Power, which you can't destroy unless you got from the fires of whence it came. In this case, the Lore Stones, you can't destroy them unless you got you can weaken them. It'll take a long time, basically.
Yeah, that's what they were trying to do in the
Yes.
last book, weren't they? They were trying to weaken them.
So after a long and perilous journey, we arrived at Torgar, and we found it besieged by the armies of Telestria and Palmyrian. That was with that huge, big, massive castle thing. During the early months of the Dark Lord invasion, hundreds of Telestrians were enslaved and sent to labor in the dungeons and sulfur mined deep within the bowels of this grim city fortress. And their plight seemed hopeless until the allied armies, under the command of Lord Adamas of Garthen, finally arrived to liberate them. But we never joined them in that fight. We took the side path in the swamp. So we never actually took part in that big battle. That's a whole section of the book that we just missed out. Because, we just
you guys have fun! I'm gonna go through the swamp and continue my quest.
Fighting. I was just like, I want to do some exploration. Fuck the fights. Let's go.
Let's complete a couple of side quests.
So we did actually show up again at the end of the fight when we did the final siege, and then we did the battle of what was it? With that bomb that made the triangle in the wall. So
oh yeah,
like the battle of Helm's Deep.
The magical bomb.
Yeah, we made the triangular door with the bomb, with the magic bomb. So we were able to breach the Great Torgar Gate and storm its citadel. And during the fierce battle, we gained entry into the chamber at the heart of the citadel, where the Daziarn were attempting to destroy the Lore Stones. They were hung above a circular back pit and suspended in a fireball of negative energy, the focal points of several beams of power, emanating from crystals set around the edge of the pit. By means of a gantry, you were able to climb above these energy beams and retrieve one of the Lore Stones. But as you reached out for the remaining 2, a terrible voice filled the chamber.
Vengeance is mine, Lone Wolf.
Ah, you did that pretty good.
Yeah, but it hurts my throat. Terror struck deer in your heart. Oh my god, there's a deer in our heart. Bambi!
Oh.
As you turned and saw the ghastly form of Dark Lord Nog. A rasping laugh echoed from his fly-like head as he raised a black crystal and pointed it at the gantry.
The vow I gave at Tahau shall be fulfilled. Now I shall destroy you in the Lore Stones.
He gloated. There was a deafening crack, and a bolt of blue lightning leapt from the stone towards the rusty iron gantry. As the shockwave hit the fireball, the 2 remaining Lore Stones were sent tumbling into the black abyss. A second bolt ripped the gantry in 2, and with the ghastly laugh of Dark Lord Nog ringing in your ears, you fell headlong into a portal of total darkness, a shadow gate which leads to the twilight world of the Daziarn Plain. This is not to be confused with Twilight Princess, where you get transported to the Twilight Realm through the mirror. Don't know if you played that game.
Wait a minute. Wasn't the mirror a link to the past? And Twilight Princess was something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, Twilight Princess is like a completely different thing. Basically, Link, Legend of Zelda has loads of this dark world, light world bullshit. Like, they just keep recycling it in loads of different games. But they're all separate dimensions. Just so you're aware of that.
This was the special episode. This is the Toys in the Attic episode, I'd imagine.
Oh.
I hope someone gets that.
We're going to pick our next bonus discipline. So we're still waiting on animal control for this lore circle with more endurance points. And we're also waiting on Psi Surge and Nexus for the spirit circle. Just so you're aware. And we've got animal control to pick from, Psi Surge to pick from, and Nexus to pick from. So we either complete the lore circle of light or halfway complete the spirit circle. So that's animal control, Psi Surge, or Nexus.
Alright, now the real question is, are we expecting to run into animals in this dark void realm?
That's a good question.
And what would they have to say? Get me the hell out of here!
That's the thing. So animal control is like it's a situational ability, but it can prove useful in when it comes up. Psi Surge is to increase our combat skill, which I think this book, I know what our glass cannon, so it's super strong. But I do remember when I went through this book like years and years back, this was one of the hardest books that Joe Dever had ever written. And he actually said it's okay to artificially increase your combat skill for this book because of its difficulty.
Oh, no, it's not balanced.
Yeah, like the enemies are super strong in this book. So Psi Surge wouldn't be a bad choice, just so you're aware. And Nexus
the only thing I don't like about Psi Surge is that it eats our endurance.
It eats endurance points, of course, yeah.
That's the only thing I don't like about it. Otherwise, I would have been like, let's pick that son of a bitch like ages ago, but...
And then Nexus, that one is our defensive ability, able to withstand heat and cold. And we can move items with our mind.
That's pretty cool, though.
So I won't tell you what I want to pick. I'll let you pick first. I'll also mention it as well. If you pick animal control, you will get the 3 endurance points because it will complete the lore circle of light. And right now we're on 28.
Well, I was gonna say you pick this time because you,
sure. Okay.
You seem to know what.
No, I don't.
What we're going into a little bit.
All I know is that this book is really difficult. It's like the hardest one in the entire series. That's the only thing I can remember. I can't tell you specifically anything about what's happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you pick.
Okay, I'm going to pick... I was thinking about this last book as well, because I was going to pick Nexus in the previous book, but you decided Divination. I was fine with that, and it actually proved to be the better choice, because Divination was just clutch in that whole book.
Oh, yeah, it was, wasn't it?
So I think now I'm going to pick Nexus.
Okay.
And that way in the next book...
The dark is cold. We want to be warm. We want to be comfy.
Yeah, he didn't throw a blanket in with us.
You pathetic mortal. Here, take a blankie.
Okay, so next is the equipment. So this one is for you to read from... Skip the first paragraph and then go straight to the grey tunic bit.
Okay. You are dressed in the gray tunic of a Huron Pathfinder. You possess a backpack containing 2 meals. Note these in the meals section of your action chart. And a leather pouch containing gold crowns. To find out how much gold is in the pouch, pick a number from the random number table.
Hang on,
what did we get?
Oh, hang on. All my buttons have gone black. This makes sense. Okay. Because this is a literal sequel to the previous book. We're beginning immediately after we fell into the portal. We're not going back into our storage. We can't throw back stuff into a trunk all of a sudden and get stuff out of storage. This is only for if you've never done the previous books and you're starting on this book for whatever insane reason. So we can't do any of this shit. We're actually just because it makes sense. We can't.
No, it totally does make sense, and I agree with this choice. Besides, it doesn't look like there's much in the way of choices that we'd want anyway.
Here we go. We got a footnote at the end of the page. I don't know if you got it in your online book. Can you look back on Discord?
Yeah, I think I do have it. Lantern is designed to be self-lighting. You will not need a tinderbox or any other means to light. Do you want me to read 2 or 3? Or both?
Huh? Wait, what does it begin with?
Oh, yours is different. All right, hold on. Let me enlarge this. All right. You have no opportunity to use safekeeping at Monastery or Desi at the beginning of this adventure. It is therefore inappropriate for you to store surplus items in safekeeping, or likewise to retrieve any. Items that may already be stored in there will be safe. Don't worry, we got it. We'll keep your money safe with us.
Or maybe we can throw out extra stuff to Pydo as we're falling into the portal. Hold on to this for me, Pydo. Go put it in my trunk back at the monastery.
Burn the magazines under my bed.
Delete my hard drive. Don't let anyone see what was on there.
Delete my search history. But you may not add any more at the beginning of this adventure. You have no opportunity to use safekeeping. Oh wait, that's the same thing.
It's the exact same thing.
This adventure.
Huh?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I guess it makes sense after each of those bits where you add items to your pack.
Now, question: do we still get a mastery of weapon?
We got a law stone, so we should be able to add another ability.
Okay.
I will get to it in a moment. Okay, so
next.
Right now we're the Scion Kai. So upon getting that law stone before falling in the portal, we're Scion Kai, and I think if I go to the weapons page, we should be able to checklist a new item. So either the axe, short sword, or warhammer. Yeah, it's letting me do it.
And my axe.
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 Okay, so next book we're guaranteed to complete either the Solaris or the Light or the Spirit Circle. I think we're going to go Spirit next book, guaranteed.
Probably.
3 combat skill, 3 endurance points, plus Side Surge. Nothing can stop us.
Unless we're going into like another like jungle
yeah, we
forest
get
area, then we're getting that animal.
Filled with animals everywhere and just like, there are no humans whatsoever. Fight all these animals. Go. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's see what our new rank gives us. Scion Kai, Weapon Mastery. When entering combat with a weapon they have mastered, Scion Kai may add 4 points instead of the usual 3 to their combat skill. And also, without a weapon, we only lose 1 combat. Okay. Invisibility. Scion Kai are able to alter their physical appearance at will in order to deceive an enemy. The duration and effectiveness of this deception increases as a Kai Master rises in rank. Wow, so we're shapeshifters now?
I want to be a poster!
Want to get rid of his belly?
I just don't want to appear fat in front of the enemy.
I remember in The Flash, when the elongated man discovers his ability, the first thing he does is just shrink his stomach. Cause
oh, yeah. Oh, come on, who wouldn't?
Yeah. Passmanship.
You know that's happening sooner or later.
That would be the first thing I'll do. Passmanship. Scion Kai with this ability are able to converse with any sentient creature. They are also able to make themselves invisible when subjected to any psychic or magical spells of detection. Nice. Psi Screen. When engaging in psychic combat, Scion Kai are able to absorb and control some of the energies directed at them. By deflecting or inducing the hostile energy, they can either reduce the damage they sustain or increase the power of their own psychic attacks. Nice. It's like Iron Man absorbing Thor's electricity. Up his own up his own attack power. Divination. Scionkai are able to leave their body in a state of suspended animation and, in spirit form, explore their immediate surroundings unhindered by physical limitations. This ability is called Spirit Walking. The length of time a Kai Master can Spirit Walk increases as he rises in rank. When the spirit is separated from the body in this fashion, the body remains inanimate and vulnerable to attack. If a Kai Master's body is killed while he is Spirit Walking, his spiritual self will also cease to exist, and vice versa. The nature of any additional improvements and how they affect the Magna Kai disciplines will be noted in the Improved Discipline section of the next Lone Wolf adventure. We've got some really cool upgrades to our abilities.
Yeah, we do, don't we? I think I especially like the weapon mastery, because that's just a flat point of combat skill, and
Yeah.
we
We don't plan on losing any of our super weapons at any point, but if for some reason we don't have our weapons and we have to pick up a random thing and fight with it, we
did drop our backpack during the fall, did we?
We've got 8 out of 10 of the possible items ready to fight with great combat skill. So we have some Magna Kai wisdom here, actually. So I think this is worth reading in this case.
Okay. Your visit to the twilight world of Daziarn will be fraught with supernatural dangers as you search for the 2 remaining lore stones. Be on your guard at all times, for here even the laws of nature are strange and unstable. Make notes as you progress through the story, for they will be a great help, both in this quest and in the ultimate Magna Kai adventure which follows it. Many things that you will find will help you during your mission. Some special items will be of use in this and future Lone Wolf books, while others may be red herrings of no real value at all. So be selective in what you decide to keep.
Okay, so
remember that ring we bought that did nothing?
Right. So I was about to mention that myself. We can't get rid of any of those special items. So if we come across a better one, we're either gonna have to discard. We're gonna have to discard one of them, basically. But I am gonna draw attention to the fact that we're still wearing the Grey Crystal Ring and the Psychic Ring, which haven't done anything since we got them, 3 books ago. Okay. I'm just pointing that out. That's one. Okay. It will come in handy at some point. Don't exactly know when, but I do know they do come in handy. Either in this book or the next 2. So I'm not getting rid of them until they do something. I'll tell you that now.
Especially that Psychic Ring.
Yes.
Maybe the Grey Crystal one, because it doesn't sound as good, but that Psychic Ring, that's got the last page of the last book. If you got the Psychic Ring, give yourself an S+ rank. I don't know.
Do you have a footnote at the end of your book, of this page? Because I've got one here, which basically explains the difficulty.
Yes, and it looks to be the same at glance.
Okay, so read yours.
Okay, do you want me to finish reading this page, though?
No, the rest of it we've read loads of times in other
okay. Due to several unavoidable difficult combats in this book, it is practically impossible for a new or average character to complete this adventure successfully. Even a character with optimal choices of equipment and disciplines, and the highest possible scores for combat skill and endurance, will have a difficult time with this adventure.
Yeah, so at least whoever made this program understands it.
Strap yourselves in, it's gonna be a bumpy ride!
Alright, picking up exactly where we left off last time. All sense of time and space is lost as you plunge headlong into the whirling black throat of the abyss. Only a numbing chill and a mournful sound, like a million voices crying in despair, accompany you on your descent into the unknown. Gradually your mind is filled with fearful visions, nightmare shapes that reach out of the darkness to claw and bite and scream at your passing. They grow in menace until they are swiftly dispelled by a diamond-shaped motes of light, which streak past at incredible speeds. The tiny lights engulf you in a cone of fiery brilliance, and a metallic smell of ozone, sharp and pungent, assails your nostrils. A sensation of warmth surges through your frozen limbs. Then, an instant later, you strike solid ground, with such a suddenness that you are left stunned and panting for breath. I love this cool Milky Way picture. Already hitting us with some... That's the Milky Way, isn't it? I'm sure, like, spiral galaxy.
Yeah, I mean, kinda. I mean, see, what I think is it looks like a bad tattoo. you ever look at, like, tattoo fails, and they're like, I want the cosmos on my back, and it just ends up, like, all shitty. That's what this reminds me of.
Oh, crap, we got... Pick a number from the random number table. If you pick a 0, it counts as 10. The number you have picked represents the number of endurance points you've lost during your passage through the Shadow Gate. Already, we haven't even started the book, and we're fucking getting hit already.
Oh, it's only 3. Okay. No, we can heal up.
2 pages should do it.
Yeah. With dread anticipation, you stagger to your feet to survey your new surroundings. A bleak and desolate plateau, seemingly devoid of life, stretches into the distance on all sides. Jagged boulders litter a desert of crimson sand, which is stirred to restless motion by fierce and scorching winds. Neither sun nor moon hang in the amber skies above, yet their absence does not leave this world in darkness. For all along the horizon blazes a fire which glows brighter than 1,000 sunsets. You stare across this alien landscape, and a feeling of helplessness grips your senses when you realize where you have emerged. This is the twilight world of the Daziarn Plain. A knot of fear tightens in your stomach as you recall what little you have heard of this world. The magicians of Summerland believe it to be an astral corridor that connects Magdama with other planes of existence. So by passing through a shadow gate, one of which is situated below the guild hall in Toran, a person can gain entry to the Daziarn. However, those who have passed through the shadow gate in Toran have never been seen again, and the magicians believe that the journey can be made in only one direction. They say there is no escape from the Daziarn. You vow to restore the Kai, and your stubborn will to survive against all odds refuse to let you believe that there's no way back to your home world. Besides, this book series has to continue, so...
Well, in fact, there are 2 more books. I mean, we're not going to spend 2 more books in this world, so, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that would be kind of interesting. That would be interesting. You're just defeat the Dark Lord, but you're just trapped in this realm.
Next book, let's make a new city for ourselves in this place, and then
you are Lone Cat.
Next book will declare war on the next town over.
All right. You cast aside your fear and steel yourself for the task of finding a means of escaping from this desolate place. But firstly, you must recover 2 lore stones that fell into the Shadow Gate shortly before you. If you possess the Magkai Discipline Divination and have reached the Kai rank of 2 or higher, turn to page 145. If you don't possess this shit, then, well, sucks to be you.
Divination already coming in clutch.
Oh, yeah.
You scan the barren wasteland, straining your senses to detect the missing lore stones, which must be somewhere among the millions of rocks and wind-smooth boulders that cover the vast plateau. But it proves a fruitless search. You can find no trace of the lore stones, nor even the slightest indication that a shadow gate opened here.
Thanks, divination. Thanks, divination. You're screwed. The torrid winds sweep across the landscape with increasing ferocity, forcing you to protect your eyes from the gusts of sharp, stinging sand. The need to cover takes priority when you sense that the winds are merely a prelude to a storm. To remain here in the open could prove a fatal mistake. Peering through your fingers, you try to find somewhere to take shelter. To your left, in the middle distance, you can see what appears to be a mound of volcanic stone slabs. To your right, but further away, you notice a shallow gully running lee to the wind. If you wish to take shelter behind the mound of stones, go there. If you decide to take shelter in the gully, go there.
Well, the stones are closer, but we're still going to get assaulted by whatever's in the wind. So the wind itself we're fine, but if the wind's like radioactive or some shit, we'll still get hit with it. I don't know why it'd be radioactive. But I'm playing too much
You
Fallout.
are now radiated, wolf.
Yeah, there are radiated wolf enemies in Fallout.
There are.
If you take shelter in the gully, though, you'll be, it'll be like you're under, like you're in a ditch, aren't you? Basically.
That's what I imagine.
Yeah.
It says a shallow gully running
we can
lead
tank
to the
it.
wind.
We can tank the hit to get there. I'm fine.
Okay, so you want to go to the gully?
Yeah, I go to the gully.
All right. I would say it'd be cold, but we just got,
And we
the
can
thing
sleep
to
in there. I
keep
can't sleep
warm.
behind volcanic rocks. Might burn me. I don't know. I don't know if there's a
It
volcano.
might
down.
keep you warm.
I'm sure they solidified ages ago. Yeah, there might be a volcano nearby. I don't know. Okay, the wind tears at your clothing as you fight your way slowly towards the distant gully. Your feet sink deep into the hot, shifting sands, transforming the simple act of walking into a hard and painful exertion. No, I've got Nexus, so it should be fine. After what seems like an eternity, you finally near your goal. You drop to your knees and crawl the few remaining yards towards the shelter of the shallow rock-strewn trench. Gasping for breath, you bury your head inside your tunic to avoid inhaling a lungful of the sand-choked air. And gradually, your pulse steadies and your strength returns. You wait for the storm to subside, but, as if in defiance of your wish, the winds grow ever stronger, whipping the sands into huge cyclones which suck countless tons of debris into their deadly spinning cores. Fear returns to freeze your heart when the shadow of a raging whirlwind falls across the gully. In blind desperation, you crawl towards a narrow fissure at the end of the trench, praying that it is the entrance to a cave. This time your prayers are answered. The fissure marks the beginning of a shaft that descends deep into the volcanic rock. But as you draw closer, your hopes for a safer shelter are dampened by a gruesome sight.
Oh no. I was expecting a picture. Alright.
I'm sure when we fight whatever's down here, there'll be a picture. Sorry for intruding upon your home. Stab.
I was just expecting like one of the, just a hideous man picture again. There's been a lot of those where it's just like, oh my god.
I mean, we're in a cave as well.
This is
so
a nightmare.
Doubly expect it.
Strewn around the entrance to the fissure are the bleached and shattered bones of what was once a formidable creature. Nervously, you reach for a weapon as you approach the narrow gap and peer into its lightless depths. A strange smell, sweet and unwholesome, wafts out from the inky blackness and stops you dead in your tracks. But the deafening roar of the approaching tornado makes you swallow your fear and enter. Cautiously, you descend into the dark, your weapon held poised to counter a sudden attack. If you have the count the fire spear, a lantern, or a torch, or a tinderbox and wish to use any of them, go to 61. If you do not possess any of these, or do not wish to use them, but wish to advance deeper into the fissure to avoid the raging tornado, go to 313. If you choose not to advance, but stay where you are.
The one thing I might as well just say, do you want to be a dumb shit and not use any of these things? Like Cal's Fire Spear, man, just coming in clutch. Like, from book 3, we had that thing. Still coming out to bail us. To bail us out.
Oh, that is...
We are going to
great
use
magical
it, right?
items.
We better use it.
It's either that or do nothing just to see what it does.
Your light washes over the rough red walls and illuminates a narrow corridor, formed by a violent rending of the land. Warily you descend, taking care to avoid the deep potholes which riddle the uneven floor, and at length you emerge into a cramped, airless cavern. At that moment, a cacophony of noises surges along the fissure, and the floor shudders and heaves beneath your feet. Then a great blast of dust and debris knocks you off balance, as it is sucked out of the cavern by the whirlwind now raging directly above. The turmoil soon subsides, but as you drag yourself to your feet, you notice that you are not alone. There's 161.
Santa?
Here, Lone Wolf. I have a late Christmas gift to give you. It is the Summer Sword version 2. Even better.
You asked the lore stones for Christmas, but here's some candy instead.
Oh, I found this. I found a sphere on the ground. I decided to make a snow globe out of it. Here you go. It's like the Lordstone embedded it. It's just like he's cracked it, emptied out all the contents of the Lordstone, and filled it with the fucking shit to make a snow globe. It's like, what did you do with the Lordstone stuff? I don't know. Just flush it down the toilet. I don't know what the fuck that shit was.
I don't know. I threw that shit in the corner. It was all gooey and sticky and smelled bad. You didn't want it. Trust me. Oh, I needed that goo. All right. A low, croaking growl issues from the far side of the cavern, and suddenly 2 slits appear, from which a baleful orange light radiates. With bated breath, you watch a shape emerge from the shadows. A long, scaly form with short legs and a lizard-like head, the outline of its body perfectly camouflaged against the red volcanic rock, pulses like a heartbeat as it awakens from its slumber. It swivels its horny head. Well, it's excited. And fixes you with an alien gaze, its snake-like eyes glittering with malice. Aww. If you have the Magpie discipline of animal control and have reached a rank of primate or higher, turn to page 13. If you do not possess the skill and have yet to reach this level of Magpie training, go to 271 where we probably have to fight it, but there might be a picture.
Not yet. The lizard beast yawns, exposing a wickedly curved beak and a jaw set with dagger-sharp fangs. It snickers evilly, relishing the thought of killing and devouring you at its leisure. If you possess a bow and wish to use it, 322. If you do not, 31. Use the bow. Use the bow. Use the bow.
Can we just go back and do nothing?
I just get swept up in the tornado. Ooh,
maybe there's a magical like being in the tornado that's like, hey, lone wolf, what's up? This is my realm. Here, I found these lore stones. Oh yeah, the gate to the leave is over there. And just,
why didn't the lore stones get ejected out with us? Or maybe the lore stones got swept into a tornado and then just like swinging about in the air.
Maybe the lore stones are the tornadoes now.
Yeah, it could be. The lore stones could make this one.
Maybe we just missed our chance.
Ah well.
Swiftly, you draw an arrow and take aim at one of the creature's eyes, but instinctively it senses danger and twists its head furiously from side to side to spoil your shot. Hold on. So this is a realm of like kind of twilight, shadowy forest. It's a desolate place. But this creature recognizes what a bow and arrow looks like?
Apparently.
And knows what it is?
Yep.
We're not in Kansas anymore. Pick a number from the random number table. If you have the Magpie discipline of weapon mastery with bow, be sure to add the appropriate bonuses as well as any other missile bonuses.
We need those because we need to get at least a 9.
Oh, okay.
3. How much? We did it.
Oh, apparently that counted.
Yes. Oh yeah, we got 3. We have 3 for our weapon mastery with a bow, and 3 for having the silver bow Duodon. Just about getting 9.
Barely made it.
Yes. Your arrow tears into its eye, splitting it open like a burst egg. It ends its flight buried deeply in the creature's brain, bringing death in an instant and sparing the beast the agony of its terrible wound. It happened exactly like I thought it would. We invaded its home, and then we ended up killing kids.
This is my home now. Slowly, the slain Kazinda
I'm sure
falls.
We would have come across that name if we actually fought it properly. And we would have probably got a picture. Now we'll never know what it looked like.
What I wonder is, it said that it relished in delight of the thought of killing us or something like that. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe if we could speak to it, we probably still have to fight it because it seems like a dick no matter what.
Probably would have given us a bonus skill.
Oh yeah,
that's usually what animal control does in the fights.
You recognize me? Oh, here, take some combat bonus. Oh, thank you. Whew. Follow me on Instagram. Either way.
So random.
Just hands you a card full of its social media as it dies. Like my Facebook page.
Don't worry,
As it's
I'll
dying
try to
breath.
resurrect you at 3 a.m. in the morning with the Ouija board.
What's that phone number again? Alright. Slowly, the slag Klondike bar falls to the cavern floor, its broad tail twitching spasmodically. Yeah. When finally it comes to rest, you approach the carcass and examine more closely this creature of the Daziarn. Although the shape of its body appears reptilian, its scales are quite unlike those of any lizard you have seen before. They are thin, yet incredibly hard. It seemed to be formed from a substance more akin to glass than skin or bone. You ponder the origins of the curious beast until eventually the fatigue of your ordeal catches up with you. You must now eat a meal or lose 3 endurance points. Why don't we just eat the lizard?
We'll be eating glass.
Why not? Oh, we can cut past the glass. I'm sure it has some meat under there.
Do you need any glass? It's probably going to be shattered.
Oh, we're powerful enough. I'm sure we could just eat glass at this point.
There's like an intimidation tactic. Just grab a plate and just intimidate everyone.
The next lizard is like, oh, hell no, I'm out of here. All right. Unable to resist any longer, you close your eyes and drift into a deep and dreamless sleep.
Wait. Also, how are we fatigued by this ordeal? All that happened, we just fired an arrow. We don't fought the guy. just dash an arrow in its eye.
Hey, that arrow exertion takes a lot of force to pull back on the string and just let it. I don't know.
You wake with a start, stirred to consciousness by the distant flap of large wings beating in a windless sky. The sounds grow louder, and quickly you gather up your equipment and hurry out of the cavern to investigate their source. The storm died down while you slept, and the plateau is now becalmed. From the rim of the gully, you can see 6 black shapes silhouetted on the blazing horizon. They resemble dragons with snaky necks and ragged bat-like wings. Upon their backs they carry gold-skinned creatures, human in appearance, save for their lack of hair and their massive size. The leader sees you. He banks his dragon mount towards the gully, and the others follow closely in his wake. You fear they're about to attack, but at the last moment they veer away and circle the gully before landing nearby. With practiced ease, the leader and 2 of his brothers dismount from their winged steeds. They each dwarf you by an arm's length, and although their heavy muscular bodies seem incapable of stealth, they approach like lions stalking their prey. Zilu Klokanra, speaks the leader, his voice deep and resonant. Rila Nunar, says another impatiently. If you have the Magna Chi Discipline of Pathmanship and have attained the Chi rank of Scion Chi, turn to 305. If you don't, you have no clue what these guys are saying. But we do.
Your ability allows you to just understand a new language just among hearing 2 lines.
Yep.
Oh my god, is that actually... Yep, that's actually what it's doing. Your much improved Kai skill enables you to understand the language that these beings are speaking. They want to know why you are trespassing on their hunting ground, and how you came to be here, alone, and without any means of transportation. You sense that they speak not in their native tongue, but in a language they assume to be yours. You can tell this?
Apparently.
If you wish to tell them that you are from the world of Magdama and that you have arrived here after falling through a shadow gate, go to 156. If you choose to ignore their questions and remain silent, go to 132. They haven't started attacking us. Might as well be like, hey, I just got here. We do need some friends in this place, don't we?
Please be our friend. Please.
Our friends usually die, so we need more.
We need to replenish our stock of friends.
We do.
Having listened to your explanation, the giants react with skepticism, but despite their doubts, they are clearly fascinated by your appearance and the sound of your voice. "We are the Yoacor," says the leader proudly. "We are the lords of Yanis, the Shining City, and masters of the Abaxial of Senos. Come, we will take you to our realm where you may tell your strange story to the beholder. He will divide its worth." He beckons you to approach his dragon mount, and you step forward. The thought of being left marooned in this wilderness is all you need to persuade you to obey his command.
Sounds good enough to me, I guess.
"Yes, stranger, I will follow you into this this dragon mount."
Step into my dragon van. There's candy.
I've got a lost on
With,
candy here.
Oh,
You're like Gobstopper
One
shaking
guy.
like the lost stone.
I was about to say there's just like one guy in the back going, "This gobstopper sucks." He's just eating the lore stone.
He just suck in the lost stone and the knowledge gets transferred into his brain. Oh.
I've learned so much while eating this shitty candy. Alright. With a mighty screech, the dragon mounts take to the air in unison. They beat their great wings, filling your ears with a thunderous drumming noise. Your stomach heaves as the leader tugs at the reins, sending the beast laboring steeply into the fire-orange sky. The ground below falls away at an alarming rate, and within minutes you are traveling hundreds of feet above the plateau, your vision blurred by the speed of the rushing wind. Beneath you, the trackless waste stretches away to the burning horizon. Without sun or moon or any change in the brightness of the sky, you find it impossible to gauge the passage of time. Twice you lapse into sleep, for how long you cannot guess. Yet each time you wake, the arrow-shaped light formation of the dragon mounts remains unchanged, and the Yoacor themselves show not the slightest sign of fatigue. At length, the featureless wastes give way to thick violet-colored grasslands, dotted with scab-like patches of marsh and bog. The air becomes humid, and the faint smell of rotting vegetation conjures up memories of time spent in the Danag. Gradually, the lowlands rise, and you soar above high valleys and rock-strewn meadows, broken hills, and weather-worn crags. As you approach a narrow cleft between two mountainous peaks, the leader raises his hand. Upon this signal, the others close into a single file. An immense crater lies beyond the pass, and its heart stands a city, the most beautiful city you have ever seen. Turn to page 50. Oh.
The shining city of Yanis lies before you, rising in circular levels around the turreted citadel of sparkling crystal which dominates the vast alien metropolis. Constructed out of sheeted platinum, silver, glass, and mirrored steel, it reflects the light in 1,000 colours from its walls, windows, and huge conical towers, giving it the appearance and splendour of a glowing sun. As the Dragon Mount glides over the outer walls, you feast your eyes upon a network of broad avenues lined with fragrant tree-like plants, squares with fountains, and huge silver bell-shaped dwellings. And they just won't stop with the lists.
This is,
No. That looks really small, actually, unless we're, like, really zoomed out. I don't see any...
maybe it's just perspective. Maybe this is, from our mount. This is what we
It must
see.
be, like, really high up or something, and this thing is huge. Well, they are giants, actually, makes sense.
They are dragons.
Directly ahead stands the citadel. The leader signals once more, and together the Yoacor land their winged steeds upon a glassy platform adjacent to one of the citadel's 5 circular watchtowers. There, you are met by Yoacor guards, resplendent in armor of burnished silver, who attend to the dragon mounts with dutiful efficiency. The leader helps you dismount before dismissing his company and escorting you to a room in the watchtower. "You will rest here," he says, using all his mind, I shall take word to the beholder, and he shall speak with you. Refresh yourself, and sleep if you will. He motions towards an adjoining room, and then turns and leaves, the door closing behind him, seemingly of its own accord. If you wish to investigate the adjoining room, turn to 170. If you wish to attempt an escape from the watchtower, turn to 340. If you choose to remain in the room, 219.
I like there's another do nothing feature. I really do. It's very tempting.
I actually have no clue what to do at this point. This is your decision.
Let's just remain in the room. Let's take a nap. We're tired. We're sleepy. We're jet lagged. The room is large and airy with tall windows that look out over the city. Far below, you can see the Yoacor crowding an avenue, which leads to an outer level of Yanis. They move with such purposefulness that, from this great height, they resemble a vast community of worker ants. For several hours, you stare down at the beautiful alien city and its industrious citizens, while you try to make sense of your situation. Eventually, you resolve to find out all that you can from the leader called the Beholder. Perhaps he will be able to help you locate the lore stones and find a way back to Magnamund. This decided, you settle down to sleep. Oh, yeah. See, that's what we needed. We needed a good rest and a good bed.
A strong hand on your shoulder shakes you roughly from your sleep. The Beholder requests your company, says the Yoacor leader, stepping back and motioning you to rise. You must come with me. Together, with 6 attendant guards, the leader escorts you from the watchtower, across an open courtyard paved with polished steel, and into the entrance hall of the Crystal Citadel. There, a superb spiral staircase forms the central core of this stronghold, carved from a solid mountainous chunk of a sky blue mineral unfamiliar to you. The stairs soar upwards towards the turreted roof, where the chamber of the Beholder is situated. With ease, Yoacor ascend, and you struggle to keep pace. You count over 300 steps before the staircase opens onto a silent hallway, where a massive door of solid ebony inlaid with gold fills an entire wall. A bell is rung, and while you catch your breath and wait for the massive door to open, you speculate on who the Beholder could be. You imagine him as a Yoacor warrior king, tall and strong, with wisdom and intelligence beyond mortal reckoning. With this image in mind, you feel optimistic that he will aid your quest. However, when the black door finally swings open, your hopes are dashed. The sight of him shocks you to the core. Like a little rat. Oh my god. Jesus.
Oh.
I got a glimpse of that thing. Oh my god.
So which one's the Beholder? Because
it's gotta be the fucking little brain thing. Well, the huge
but
head
he's
brain.
the Beholded. he's not the Beholder. Alright. Cradled in the muscular arms of a Yoacor guard lies the loathsome, stunted form of the Beholder. His withered corpse green body, it's green too. Green body is no bigger than a human child's, yet his bulbous head is enormous by comparison. Far larger than that of the giant who is holding him. It wobbles and sways repulsively when he turns to focus his eyes on you, like polished gemstones, and 2 blank orbs glint in the flickering light of this chamber. What? Like polished gemstones, those 2 blank orbs glint like in the flickering light of this chamber. Yes, I read that right. Yeah, I thought they were saying something else, but yeah, derp.
The lost stones glint. Like I've got him here.
We just put him up on the wall. We were thinking of chewing on him later.
Why is everyone eating the lost stones?
I don't know. Maybe they taste good. Their cold sharpness revealing the intelligent being that lies in prison with the crippled shell.
You gotta zoom in on this picture. Oh my god, look at its face. There's like an old guy's face, like a huge, massive, bulbous head. And his, it's just stick limbs. It's like It's like an alien,
He
but like
looks
next level.
comfortable though, doesn't he? Like
he's
he
got no
looks, he
choice,
looks comfy.
He better be comfortable
Yeah.
because he's gonna be stuck there. He can't really move.
Be not afraid of me, human. He says, using a language similar to your native tongue. I mean you no harm. My shape may not find favor with those of your species, but here in the Daziarn, you must be prepared to disregard appearances if you are to discern the truth. With a languid blink, he dismisses the Yoacor leader and his guards and watches like a doting father as they descend the spiral staircase. If you possess the mankind discipline of divination, go to 291. If you don't possess the skill, well, that's not us.
He's basically saying, "Don't judge a book by its cover. You don't even know me, man."
And the first thing we do, all right, let's judge this person using our magical
Literally,
sense.
the moment I went onto that page, I just recoiled like, "Whoa, what the hell am I looking at?"
We both kind of did.
You focus your Kai skill on the beholder and try to fathom if his intentions are for good or ill. You sense he possesses immense powers, both physical and psychic, which radiate from his body like the rays of invisible sun. You concentrate on this power, but all you can discern is that he is capable of using it to further both good and evil. This guy's got physical strength. Get the fuck out of here, he does. Psychic I can believe with the big brain, but physical, I gotta see it to believe it.
Maybe he's keeping the person that's holding him alive somehow. I don't know. He just has so much power. Whoever holds him gains strength too. Come, let me show you the wonders of my realm, says the beholder as the great black door swings slowly shut. It is so rare that I am able to entertain a guest. I would deem it an honor if you would accept my invitation. With the only exit of the chamber now sealed off, you have no option but to accept. Yes, politeness makes you feel uneasy. You are his prisoner, yet he speaks to you as if you were free to leave any time.
You walk beside the beholder, along a corridor which leads to a vast circular gallery. At its center stands a towering, bell-shaped vessel made out of transparent, glass-like material and filled with a huge seething ball of fire. Its brilliant light illuminates some strange equipment standing against the walls and cluttering the tables, but little of its heat radiates into the room. You pass on until you come to another gallery, which is floored with shining steel, like a gigantic mirror. The domed roof is lost in the dim shadows, but at its center, you notice a tiny, dish-shaped portal. The beholder glances at a row of crystals embedded in the wall, and they glow in response to his psychic commands. "I am called the Beholder," he says, his thin voice echoing loudly in the emptiness of the dome. "I shall observe all that transpires in the Daziarn. I saw your arrival upon the Zamin Plateau, and I know from whence you came. So few of your kind survived transference that I abandoned all hope of meeting you. Indeed, had you not met with one of my hunting parties, your bones would now lie bleaching upon the sands of that arid plain. It seems that you are by nature a survivor." Suddenly, a swirling column of light appears, projected from the disc in the center of the dome. It casts a pool of brilliance in the middle of the gallery, and gradually widens until it encompasses the whole floor. "Come, observe, and perhaps you will learn the nature of your new world, for you will need to adapt if you are to survive here for the rest of your life." Oh shit.
Well then.
Be a prisoner.
Here's your dungeon cage. Don't worry, we'll feed you. The swirling light draws into focus upon the mirrored floor, and you find yourself surrounded by a spectacular cosmic image. At the center spins a shadow, as dark as deep space, populated with suns and stars, and the myriad planets that revolve around them. This microscopic universe is in turn surrounded by a ring of total darkness, and beyond that radiate 4 beams of different color. Like the spokes of the gigantic wheel, between these beams there are many areas of light and shade, some running parallel and some in isolation, but all of them connected by a pale shimmering mist. What you see before you is a tableau of our worlds. A light painting that depicts the universe of Aeon and the Daziarn Plain. Daziarn Plain, says the beholder, as his servant carries him to the dark center of the floor. Here, among the suns and stars of Aeon, it is the planet you know as Magnamund, and beyond it lies the Shadow Gate through which you fell into the Daziarn. Slowly, the Yoacor moves towards you, bearing his master with care as he continues his monologue proudly. And here, balanced between the elemental strongholds of fire and water, lies the Abaxal of Sezinos. This is my realm. I have chosen to live here, to shape it as I wish, and to populate it with beings who embody my ideals. Coldly, the beholder stares into your eyes, and you feel your body stiffen as he probes deep into your mind. Well then. So is he saying he's a god and he just like created beings to serve him?
Pretty much. So this plane is like his realm, or like he's taken over it somehow, and he can do what he wants in there.
You're in my world now. If you possess the Mankind display a size screen, turn to page 174. If you do not possess a skill, turn to page 102.
We're gonna need it against this big brain motherfucker.
Oh, are we fighting?
The unexpected speed and intensity of the beholder's psychic intrusion leaves you fumbling for defense. You draw on your psychic reserves and manage to erect a thought wall to protect your nervous system. But it is too late to prevent the beholder from scanning your mind. Lose 1 endurance point. Then, with a blink of his eyes, he ceases his psychic probing, and a smile spreads slowly across his withered grey face. That'll be a rape face. Has to be.
Oh. I have probed your mind. Now I will probe your body. I perceive much in your character that pleases me, human. You possess inner strength, honor, and a fiery courage uncommon among the mortals of Aeon. Were it not for these traits, I would have no hesitation in ridding myself of you, for I will not tolerate the weak and untrustworthy in my realm. He pauses for a moment and gazes fixedly at the shapes swirling near the center of the room. I have looked into your mind, and the reasons why you are here in the Daziarn are now known to me. The quests and struggles of Magnamund are of no significance to the Shining City. But there are those of this world who would rejoice to learn that the last of the Kai is here, if only to seek you out and destroy you. For this reason, you must leave Giannis. But I shall not send you away without guidance, for you have my respect, and I shall help you all I can. Turn to page 122.
Man,
I don't know, he's starting to grow on me a little.
We'll see.
I'm starting to like him a little.
The beholder deactivates the light picture and wills his servant to carry him back to the first gallery. There, bathed in the shadowless glow of the fireball, stands a huge globe of silvery metal. At his approach, it radiates an eerie phosphorescent light, and symbols appear upon its surface.
The Lawstones entered the Shadow Gate some moments before you fell. Is that not so?
Asked the beholder, incisively. You confirm this to be the case, and watch with fascination as the symbols shift and change colour.
There are many channels within the Shadow Gate that are warped by the vagaries of time and space. Usually, it is an impossible task to predict where an object passing through the Daziarn would materialize. but the coordinates of your arrival are known. This will help my calculations.
Slowly, the symbols begin to disappear until just 3 remain.
Without knowing the precise aeon time they entered the Shadow Gate, I can find only an approximate location,
He says, scrutinizing the symbols.
As reckoned by the time scale of your planet, the Lost Stones arrived on the Daziarn 41 hours ago. They materialized together and intact in the forest of that trisect of Vozadar, a realm situated between the elemental strongholds of earth and water. This bodes well for you, human. Vozadar is a temperate and stable domain, rich in those elements necessary to sustain mortal life forms. Also, there is one great vision who has made this her home. Her name is Seroka. It would be wise to seek her help in finding these stones of power, for she is sure to know their whereabouts.
Although his words revive your flagging hopes, you're still fearful that the Lost Stones are beyond recovery. The Beholder senses your apprehension and tries to allay your fears by offering you a means of transportation to the realm of Vozada. He promises that your passage will be swift, but when you learn what the journey entails, your blood runs cold. And let's end it here, because we're at the 1 hour mark. So, what do you think so far, Karzie?
Well, I'm digging it. I like this otherworldly stuff. This is a whole new world now, and we gotta learn all the things. And it seems a lot simpler than the Magdamon world, where it's like there's this castle here, there's this castle here, there's this castle here, there's an evil army here, there's an evil army here. You know,
Well, that's
these are rebelling to each other. You know, human shit.
That's only because we weren't given a map at the beginning, so I'm sure if we were given a map, we'll probably see all that same crap happen over here. But you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
This guy is being really helpful, really good. I mean, he could have maybe just asked us instead of probing our mind, but I guess he had to. I'm just wondering if we didn't have the mind shield or Kai shield, Psi screen, whatever the hell it's called, we might have had our brains exploded by this dude. And yeah,
okay,
really nice.
But you also have to wonder if you consider yourself like a god and you're this ultimate being that could do all this shit. Wouldn't you probe a stranger's mind to get their true intentions out?
I ain't saying like he shouldn't have done it. I'm just saying maybe could have made it hurt a bit less if you're just so godlike. I'm sure you could have given us some painkillers at first. You know, I'm about to probe your mind. Here, have some paracetamol. Take 2 tablets with some water.
Buckle up, bitch. I'm going in dry.
Or induce a coma. I don't care. Just don't burst my brain open.
You just wake up and he's in the bed. He's like, hi, sleepy.
Oh, God, I'll kill myself after that. All right, on that bombshell.
I now know why you're here.
On that disturbing bombshell, let's end the episode, guys. So, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time in the new realm between earth and water. Take care.
Bye.